What puts you over the top in this fight?
I feel like just I feel like I'm the stronger fighter. I feel like I'm more durable, especially if we stand there and we go at each other. I just feel like I just got the better fundamentals. I feel like in boxing wise, I'm Tim Duncan of boxing. Like I got all the fundamentals, the jab, hook, whatever it is, blocking, whatever. I do everything right. And I just feel like I'm just gonna be the better fighter overall. I mean, he has a lot of talent, skills. He can move. It's basically, if I relate it to basketball, it's like Tim Duncan versus Garnett.
Right.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Alright, man, you better stop that cap. Errol Spence Jr. says he is the Tim Duncan of this boxing ish. Terence Crawford, he a good little fighter, but he Kevin Garnett. Errol Spence said he's Tim Duncan. Fundamentally, he got it going on, and he has all the check boxes ticked. That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let's get unpacked. We unpack, coming to you live. Now, the clip you heard at the beginning is Errol Spence Jr. He went to the Dallas Cowboys training facility, and he met with the Cowboys player, of course, Jerry Jones, the owner, and immediately I noticed that Errol Spence was in crazy shape already. He's not fighting until the Terence Crawford fight July 29th, and he sounds poised, he sounds experienced, and he sounds very confident. He told you that he's the Tim Duncan of this boxing-ish. He says Crawford, he's a good fighter, and he's a sound fighter, but I do everything right. I do and have and possess all of the fundamentals needed. He says one thing that I thought was key was Errol Spence says he's stronger if they sit there and trade and more durable. Now, I would agree, even though Crawford is undefeated and Crawford has never been knocked out, I don't even know if he has an official knockdown, even though I know he was knocked down in the fight with Aegis Kavalauskas, Mean Machine. That should have been ruled a knockdown, but it was a blown call by the referee. So with that in mind, I don't know if Terence Crawford's ever been knocked down officially on paper where the referee actually counted it. I can't think of a fight. So very put together fighter himself, very good fighter. But we've seen and heard stories about Crawford. Some people, I think Teofimo Lopez recently said he believes that Crawford is chinny. Gary Russell, he said he clipped Terence Crawford when they were beefing way back when in the amateurs. Mean Machine, again, as I said, did buckle Crawford. Gamboa buckled Crawford. And, I know the Bud Buddies, they're going to get mad at honest assessment, but the reality is this is not surprising if he does get hurt in the Errol Spence fight, or the fact that he's been hurt by other people, because you have to keep in mind he's the guy that has moved up multiple weight classes, and that's what happens. You moving up multiple weight classes and you fight people who are big and strong, you're gonna get hit. If it's 12 rounds of boxing, no matter how good you are, even Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, guys with great defense, they still got hit. Rest in peace to the GOAT, Pernell Whitaker. But at the end of the day, Terence Crawford, we've seen him hurt where he looked like he was hurt. There's no other way to put it. There's war stories of sparring like Brian Norman and things like that. So I thought it was interesting that Errol Spence said that and decided to add that he feels he's stronger and more durable. Obviously, since Crawford is such a great fighter, Errol Spence could also be tested in that department to see, like Nipsey Hussle said, see what your texture worth. We're going to see what Errol Spence texture worth. We know, like, the reason I think Errol Spence is more durable is because I've seen him in there with, like, Ugas look bigger than him, and full-fledged people, guys with power that we know career-wise, Danny Garcia and Kell Brooks, the big welterweight, when they fought back in 2017. So, truth be told, Errol Spence has fought the better selection of welterweights. This is the fight with Spence and Crawford that is taking place, say it with me, at welterweight. So, if we're judging 147 fights versus 147 fights, without any doubt, without any question, Errol Spence fought the tougher of those fights and challenges. So that being said, it's going to be interesting. Both guys have power to hurt each other. Crawford is very cunning. He's very cat-like. He has the will to win, so you can't count him out. Errol Spence, what I did like from this leaked interview is Errol Spence, on top of him being in shape, again, I got an Ego Weight Watchers, aka ILL, where I give you a look into the fighter lifestyle before, after, and progress picks, especially when they have their upcoming fight. Check that video out. Errol Spence looked in shape. But in addition, what I personally liked about Errol Spence in that Dallas Cowboys interview was Errol Spence sounded confident. You can tell, and I think experience could come into play, even though Terence Crawford has experience as well. Errol Spence has bigger production experience to me. And in this interview, it seemed like it showed. Errol Spence has been here. He's been at this moment before, and he's been in the bigger fights from my view. He had 20,000 plus rabid fans against him in Sheffield, England when he fought Kell Brook. So basically, realistically, I'm in my fight with Errol, and I'm going to give him a chocolate right-hand brownie. Realistically. So Errol Spence has been in high-pressure situations where you got the crowd against you. In my viewpoint, I can't really think of Crawford, who's been in the fight as big as the Kell Brook fight when Errol fought him, where it had 20,000 plus people and they were mostly rooting against you. So, and he was like across the pond. Terence Crawford has been the man probably at least since the Gamboa fight, and this is why I'm saying experience in the welterweight category, is because when he fought Jeff Horn for a title, even though it was his first fight at welterweight and Jeff Horn was the champion, I thought Jeff Horn lost to Pacquiao for one, so I didn't really look at Jeff Horn as a strong champion, we'll say that. But beyond that, I went to that fight and the crowd was in Vegas, it was pro Crawford. I could understand if Crawford did like Pacquiao. I want to, it's up to my promoter, I believe Jeffrey Horn, and fought him in Australia, but that wasn't the case. Top Rank made the fight in Vegas. I went to the fight and Crawford was the favorite. Like the crowd, it was a pro Crawford crowd more than let's root for this Australian guy that a lot of people didn't even know. You know what I mean? So I do like Errol Spence's confidence and I like his experience, and it's showing, like just the way he delivered that interview. You can see he was very concise. He knew what he wanted to say and he did a good job eloquently putting that. And he told you confidently and he didn't beat around the bush, very specific why he thinks there's separation between him and Crawford. I always thought that Crawford had a dangerous style of fight, meaning like if he was up against like a Maidana, some of the risk you take, you have to be cool, because Crawford, if he gets hit or if he gets hurt, he wants to retaliate. And that's what makes him special, because he has that insane willpower and drive and willingness to win and dog it out. But sometimes you meet your match and you can't dog it out with everybody. You try to dog it out with everybody. That's how you run the risk of getting knocked out. So we're going to see July 29th what it is and what it ain't. But Errol Spence is definitely a very dangerous out for Crawford. If Crawford can overcome those odds and beat Errol Spence, who I think is bigger, stronger, has the better experience, then I will give a lot of credit to Terence Crawford. If Errol Spence does what he said at the beginning of this video, then I will give a lot of credit to Errol Spence. See, that's the difference between me and a lot in the sport of boxing. I know my stuff and I give credit where credit's due, fair play. So may the best man win, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. Me as a fan, they're both training hard. You can already see that. Errol Spence in shape, Crawford stay in the gym. He's posting his flicks in the gym. So may the best man win. I'm really happy for this fight because it's a long time coming. It's for undisputed. People wanted to see this fight for years. Crawford has needed the big fight, in my opinion, especially in this weight class. So this is a fight that's undeniable, and it will solidify arguably the pound for pound #1 person in the whole sport. You got two undefeated fighters in prime. Both have kind of some bad blood or exchange of words, even though so far to this point in the promotion, they've kept it pretty peaceful. But at the end of the day, they're both insane competitors. They both have dog. They both have power. They both have skills. One's a natural southpaw. One's an ambidextrous fighter who likes to fight southpaw. I think personally Crawford is better as a southpaw, which is interesting and intriguing, and I'll make more videos about this, but it's intriguing to me to see how this fight plays out, because I think southpaws versus right-handers and orthodox fighters, they give them a lot of problems. So I'm interested to see how a fundamentally sound, you heard Errol Spence say he's Tim Duncan, so you got a fundamentally sound southpaw like Errol Spence Jr. I'm just curious how that southpaw versus southpaw battle will look. And I'm really curious about that, because to me, I think Crawford as a right-hander, I seen his best work when he's a southpaw. So I don't know confidently that Crawford can beat, if I think Crawford still has to have the success that he's had thus far in his career as a southpaw. And if he can't best and do the better work versus this southpaw Errol Spence, I think he loses the fight, because I don't see Terence Crawford beating Errol Spence predominantly right-handed. If he can do that, then, you know, he'll have proven me wrong and proved something. But I think the intriguing thing to look at here is how well does Crawford look in the southpaw stance versus a natural southpaw with the fundamentals and the Tim Duncan Spurs style that Errol Spence told you he had. And if that's the biggest thing, I really don't see Terence Crawford beating, I don't think he could spend 90-95% of the fight as a right-hander. Now, he could mix and match and win the fight. So if Terence Crawford is an orthodox fighter, switch to southpaw, certain rounds switch back, you know, if he does the back and forth, maybe. But I can't see him just spending 90-95% of the fight in orthodox mode beating Errol Spence. Errol Spence is too come forward, too fundamentally sound, and he has a crazy jab, and it's a strong jab. I can't wait for this fight. July 29th, we up. Let me know how I did in this video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Best in the business, we unpacked. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.